Welcome back to another episode of Hello Ladies, where feminism meets pro wrestling. I'm one of your hosts, Sabrina Hannon.
I am Megan Manley.
And this is a bit of a strange week since we were late recording last week's. So in theory, this is going to be a shorter episode. Short for us is probably like 45 minutes, but
Yeah, we don't have much to talk about because nothing really has happened much between Saturday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon.
Like I said, we didn't get a chance to talk about anything AEW or anything else related other than WWE. So there's that. Speaking of, did you see that Brian Pillman Jr.'s AEW contract expired?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I wasn't so shocked that happened, but I felt like for a while he was someone they were going to try to build, and then they just boop.
I feel like they tried to push him like twice, and both times it didn't really work because there was like that face push, and then wasn't there like a heel turn? Didn't he turn on Griff Garrison or something? Or
Did he
did I
cut his hair at one point or something?
did I make that up? I don't remember. All I know is like they tried like twice, and when he would try to cut promos, God bless him, he would just die a horrible death in the middle of that ring. And you know what? Like he's not a bad wrestler. It's just you
He needs a
can't always,
manager.
yeah, you can't just rely on that. You either need to be able to talk or be with someone who can talk.
Yeah. Um, well, now I won't hear Sable's music anymore.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Um,
And that sucks for him. I hate to see anyone lose their job. Like
yeah.
I hope he does that thing that a lot of people do where they get like released and then they go to the indies and then they really improve and then they come back and they're great. Like Drew's a good example of that.
Yes. Yeah, he's an excellent example of that. Um, there's in non AEW related things, there's also I don't know if you saw Mantar passed away.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. And I thought that would like Mantar brought a lot of joy to people, not for the reasons that one might want, but he brought a lot of joy, and he still makes the worst of a lot of like gimmick lists. So
That's sad though.
yeah, yeah.
How
Um,
old was
in his 50s.
Oh, young shit.
Yeah, I was surprised at like how young he was. I'm pretty sure I want to say they said he was 54, I think is what I saw. But
Wow, yeah, that's not old.
uh-uh,
No.
no, not at all. Um, so best wishes to his family, of course. Um, on to more entertaining things. Do you want to talk AEW or that story I have for you?
I'm actually very curious about the story, so I would not mind if you would like to have Who Wants Some Story Time with Sabrina Hannon, baby.
Oh God. Don't sue us.
I said it a little different, so
Yeah, yeah. Um, so on Saturday night, I had a few drinks with Des, which you are aware of. Des is one of those people who's very smart in that. So she waits until I'm like feeling good, and then she slips something in, which plants a seed for like later trouble to emerge. But and we were drinking moonshine from Tennessee that I brought back with me. And um I first of all, I don't drink very much anymore. And also I didn't drink for an entire year plus straight last year going into this year. So, to give you an idea of where my tolerance is, it's garbage. It is garbage. Usually like those little non-carbonated like alcoholic mixed drinks in a can that are 5%. Two of those will like woohoo get me. So
Oh boy.
sipping moonshine, an entire mason jar of it. We almost finished. So anyway, yeah. During this, she just like slips into conversation at some point. She's like, "Oh, that guy that you interviewed is really hot." And I was like, "That guy that I interviewed?" And she's like, "Yeah, that wrestler." And I was like, "Alex?" And she was like, "Yeah. Do you like know him? Know him?" And I was like, "I am not his pimp." Those were like the first words out of my mouth. I was like, "No, I don't know him like that." Like, but yeah. Um, she's
Not
not a wrestling fan, um, at all. She is just, she's a good friend that will like share our stuff sometimes. And she knew that like the interview was a big deal. So she listened to it and she was just like, "Ooh la la." And I was like, you know, I didn't foresee like female friends of mine who are non-wrestling fans like trying to use me as a bridge to get to him.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
I was not prepared for that.
No, it's very awkward. Like, I would feel very awkward. Yeah, I like your response. I'm not his pimp. That's
Yeah. And that just goes for
anyone.
one
Yeah.
anyone you ever see on this podcast, including Megan. I'm not their pimp.
Oh, no, you're definitely not. I do not call you daddy.
Or mommy for that matter.
Yeah,
But yeah, that is my story from this weekend. I
you're
considered not saying her name, but then I was like, I know a couple of Dez's. One, it's clearly the one you know. And two, she doesn't listen to this, so nor does
fine.
anyone that like, well, yeah, this will be the one, right?
Yep. Oh,
I'll
you know
get like
what?
an angry message.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out their podcast. I haven't listened to it yet. Let's see what it's all about.
Well, considering she didn't listen to all of the interview, she only listened to like the um Instagram clips, and she had like an interest then. And the funny thing is, then she was like, "Oh, I would get into wrestling for him." And me being who I am, and I was like, "Oh, perfect. I'll show her all of these other like attractive men then and get her to watch all of the wrestling." Do you know? I show everyone could think of. She didn't find any of the other ones attractive. Not Kenny Omega, not Drew McIntyre, not like I started going like, "Okay, so what is it that you do like?" Dexter Loomis kind of looks like Alex, right? Kind of. They do that like stare. I don't know. And yeah,
I, Alex is much better looking than Dexter Loomis.
the stare and the mustache. I was like, maybe it's the mustache. Maybe she's into that. I don't know.
Show
Nothing.
her like some old Cody when Cody had the
Mustache.
mustache.
Yeah, no, nothing. Like I showed her like Chuck Taylor though was one that like she was interested in when he was pictured with his dog.
I mean, Chuck Taylor's adorable. Like,
He is. So yeah, that was a game that I was playing. Like,
I don't understand how a human being could have eyes and not find Kenny Omega attractive. It doesn't compute in my brain. Like,
yeah, basically anyone that you or I have ever said is attractive on this podcast, she shot down.
Orange Cassidy even?
Yep.
Jungle Boy? I
I didn't show her Jungle Boy.
mean, he looks just like his dad. So if she was like one of us
True.
that, had a crush on Luke Perry when we were kids, obviously you're gonna think that Jack Perry's cute. He looks just like him.
Yeah. I have shown pictures of him before when like Luke Perry's come up in conversation. I'm like, and his son looks just like him. But
Wardlow?
I didn't show pictures of Wardlow. She was saying she liked like a hairy chest. And I was like, I think if my memory serves me, Alex is like not, I don't know. That's why I
Remember?
immediately went to Drew. I was like, oh, Harry
What
Scottishman, here you go.
Cody? Cody also has chest hair.
Yeah. Not that you will get this reference, but I probably should have shown her Joe Henry. Hendry. Yeah.
I think like not even like Roman. Like
Even because she's a little gothy. I showed her Damian Priest. She wrinkled her nose.
no,
And I was like, you don't know how you've hurt me.
that's a personal attack.
Right?
That's grounds for friendship ending.
You don't think Orange Cassidy's attract like
I mean, you know that like the goth aesthetic is not my thing, and I'm not attracted to it, but I still recognize that Damian Priest is an attractive human male. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it like there I'm trying to Roman Reigns isn't necessarily my cup of tea, but like
yeah,
I see he's pretty. Like I
yeah,
get it.
same, exactly the same. Like, he's definitely a very good looking person. It's just not anyone that I have weird taste though. I mean, Kevin Owens is one of the people that I'm attracted to. Like,
Kevin Owens is such a cutie patootie though.
I know he's very cute and he is so fucking funny. I think it's like the humor and like the sarcasm that really like that I like sarcastic assholes. Like,
Yeah. Oh, and I am not weighing in on whether I find Alex attractive or not because I've interviewed, like, it's just, I'm not doing that. Um,
understandable.
yes. But yeah, because I was about to say, like, I guess Des and I have very different taste because I can't figure out what her taste is other than two people. So,
That's so bizarre. Not one other. Huh.
no, Chuck
I mean,
Taylor.
I'm not saying like Alex is like bad looking. It
No.
just it's very strange that like just picked out one. It was like, yes, that one and that one only. Like,
Mm-hmm. And I was like, I hope you like Japanese wrestling and strong style because that's what you're getting, honey. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, they will slap the nipples off of you. I don't know how else to put it.
I mean, Okada exists. Like, Okada's too good looking. It's scary almost. Like,
He almost looks like a doll.
he's
Not
like
like because his features are so perfect and symmetrical.
right? It's like he's like Superman pretty. Like, it's just too perfect.
Yeah. Yes. Also, I apologize if anyone hears Cheddar just snoring background. He has a bed, but apparently it is too far away from me. So I think my favorite thing that's happening on AEW television right now is the MJF Adam Cole Brodom attempting of Brodom. It's just a beautiful thing. I love it when MJF is silly. And
Yeah, he's very amusing right now, especially even like off TV, like him calling in during Adam Cole streaming and subbing was another one. The picture I saw of him subbing to the Chugs channel.
for three
And my
months.
favorite, yeah, that was my favorite part about it. It was not the first time, it was 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I I know it's gonna have to end, but I don't want it to end. I like really want them to win this whole tag team thing so badly. I I don't know why they won't just pull the trigger on MJF being not exactly like a baby face, but not full blown heel, like kind of tweener where he can do this silly shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of how he acts when he's home. Like
Oh yeah.
he's still an asshole, but he's not bringing up like the bidding war of 2024 and WWE people and Vince's name and insulting the crowd and all that same shit that like has been happening for a while. This stuff really highlights how just fucking talented this kid is.
Yeah. Did you see going back a couple of weeks before they were a team when they were like facing off against one another, the promo that MJF cut against Adam Cole was based off of one he cut that Adam Cole cut while he was in NXT.
think I heard or read that somewhere.
Oh, who was it? Because it was like
Was it against Karrion Kross? Was it?
I think it was Karrion Kross because there was the line "You got the girl" in it, and whoever it was in there. And I think it was Scarlett. But it was just what a fun callback.
I mean, he did the same thing with CM Punk when he was feuding with him. I mean, the whole devil thing that he's doing, that all stemmed from that when he did the callback to Punk's promo from Ring of Honor. So he's definitely a student of the game. Like,
Yeah, 100%. And it just makes for really fun dancing partners in this case. Like, I'm so excited to see where they're going to go. I want more vignettes. I want more stuff in the ring. I want a sleepover. Like, I want Britt to just be like, what the hell's going on? All of it.
I know that he really, really prefers to keep his streaming life separate from his wrestling life. But I'd love to see a few more like little cameos of him just busting, even if it's like him just typing in chat and people like screen capturing something that he says in chat. Even that I think would be just great because it gives like a real life element to it too, which I always enjoy.
Yeah, agreed. And that's like light crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Very light crossover into his streaming life.
Yeah, because he really does do a good job of keeping that. Chugs is completely different than like Adam Cole, baby. Like he does a good job of separating. I mean, obviously, you're not going to stop people in chat from asking about wrestling stuff because I'd say probably like 85% of his chat are like there because of wrestling.
Yeah.
He has, I'm sure, built a decent amount of people from just gaming, like being on, because he's a good streamer. He's good at the video games. He's good at streaming. I'm sure there are people that only knew him from Twitch that maybe went and started watching AEW because of that. But I wouldn't mind seeing some more interactions, even though I know he likes to keep them separate.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see more of it as well. Not that I see it live, but I just like wait for the screenshots from you.
I missed both of those live. I didn't, because a lot of the times when he first comes on, I'm at work. So when I wasn't, working normal hours and was doing my little gig before this where I made my own hours, I was able to see like the beginnings of his stream or like a decent chunk of it. Now I'm not really home a lot when he's streaming. I'm at work a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I have a question for you. What do you think about the idea of Jericho joining Don Callis?
Oh, I'm like 99.9% sure that Jericho is going to be the person taking the spot in that blood and guts match because he has never not been in one. And I think that is the whole purpose of Don Callis coming out to talk to him. I don't think he's going to join him. I think he's just going to be with them long enough to be in the blood and guts match and then go off and do his own little thing.
Yeah, with his Joss Queen.
I don't know. It feels like that's breaking up because he even said to Garcia and Sammy, like, basically, I'm kicking you out of the nest, learn how to fly. And like, not in those exact words, but I feel like the only reason that they're doing this thing with Callis right now is just to get him in the blood and guts match because they need somebody for Brian.
Well, they might need to because aren't they concerned that Wheeler Yuta is injured?
I think I heard that he'll be okay for the blood and guts match, that it wasn't that he can like tape up and be okay. It was like a partial tear of something, but like an injury that can be worked through, that he should be all right. I haven't heard anything else since then, so I think it's still a go for Wheeler Yuta.
Is it the beginning of August?
Coming up soon, isn't it? Like in a week or two?
Well, I mean, the beginning of August is kind of soon.
Oh God, yeah, we're almost halfway through. Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
it is blood and That's 2023. Oh no, it's next week.
Oh,
We we gotta find out tonight what's going on. July 19th. I thought it was 2 more weeks.
is that because it's a pay-per-view, right?
No, it's on a Dynamite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in Boston next week.
Hmm.
Oh well, Dynamite should be really good tonight then. Probably get some Ibushi action.
Maybe, yeah. The card itself, like, is okay. I'm really enjoying No Shock here, Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin together.
Mhm.
Um, Keith Lee yeeting Darby across that ring last week. Oof. And just Orange Cassidy's reaction of like, oh,
Yeah.
because what do you do?
Yeah.
He got so much height, like with that his wee little self. Like, oof.
It is terrifying how high and far Keith Lee can throw other men.
Yeah. Like,
I just say I'm really glad that Father Time Keith Lee is gone and his hair's back to normal.
he started dyeing his hair.
I did not like that. It made him look like he was in his 60s. It didn't suit him well at all.
I don't
Now
like his natural aging. It is off.
no, he was dyeing it like silver, and now it's back to his natural color.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
and I did not like that. He looked like he was like 65 years old and ready to go like on his first vacation after retirement to Niagara Falls. Like
Hey, sometimes you gotta change things up when him and Mia Yim are role playing.
I'm too tired for this shit today, Sabrina. I'm too tired for the Sabrina-isms that make me uncomfortable.
I'm not that bad. I'm not.
Yeah. Excuse me while I uncomfortably look directly into the camera. Yeah.
Hey now. Just because like I think on our first episode I said Vince McMahon hates orgasms does not mean
Is that our first one?
think so. I mean, you
Well,
had clear warning, really, about what
well,
this would be like.
oh my God, that was why does anyone listen? Like,
I was gonna say I don't think anyone did listen to that, but I remember looking at the numbers and people have listened to that one and have continued to listen.
for fuck's sake.
To Tyler and everybody else. Josh.
Yeah, that's what back when my cousin was still listening. I think he's dropped off.
He's like, I can't listen to you talk about Kenny Omega like this anymore, Megan. It's almost disrespectful.
Hey, I am very respectful on the podcast. What we say in private is private.
That's true.
You know what? You already embarrassed me enough at the end of the last podcast, so we're just gonna move the fuck on right now.
I don't even remember what I said at the end of last podcast, so we will
I'm
continue.
not gonna remind you.
I mean, I could go back and listen.
No.
Well, anyway, my next question for you. So Collision has been going on for a few weeks now. What are your thoughts? Month? 2 months?
My thoughts. My thoughts.
Yeah, on Collision.
Yeah, that's a show that exists. It's a show that's on Saturday nights. Um, Saturday nights are my weekend. I usually very much relax on my Saturday nights. I know that I watch the show when it airs. I feel like I enjoy the show when it's on. If I have a lot, was this week Joe and Punk?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's been good matches. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sabrina. I am completely fucked up on Saturday nights watching that, and
Oh, I got that. That's what that laugh was because I
oh
realized
yeah.
what you were saying.
Um, I don't feel like it's a bad show because I don't remember ever yelling at the TV about anything like I have done in the past with other shows from other companies.
And you're still tuning in on like a Rampage that you don't usually tune in for?
No, Rampage we don't really watch. We did watch the opening match on Friday because it was gonna be like
It was the
but
Bucks, right?
yeah, the Bucks and Hangman. It was Hung Bucks
Yeah.
versus the Dark Order, which it's the Dark Order and they're all of those people involved are some of my most favorite people in that company.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if they were going to like push anything forward for Blood and Guts because I knew that they wouldn't be on Collision, which okay, there we go. There's a good thing about my thoughts on Collision. I feel like I'm not as interested in it because most of my favorite people are probably not going to be on that show.
Hmm.
Even like in the beginning, have you noticed when they're showing the flashes of all the different people, there's like this tiny little like quick flash of the elite at the top of the ramp, like for their entrance. It's like there and gone in like not even a full second. Like, okay, so I guess they wanted to throw the elite on there, but not have it noticeable that it's the elite. I, yeah, I think Miro's promos. I remember those. Miro's promos have been gold. Um, yeah, it's like the FTR CM Punk show pretty much. And
Yeah.
I I don't hate it, but I don't like it as much as Dynamite, but it's better than Rampage. So it's something I'll keep watching, I guess.
I feel like sometimes for me, it's almost like Rampage 2.0 instead of Dynamite 2.0, which is not what I would imagine they were going for. But again, it's because a lot of the wrestlers that I really enjoy are on Dynamite.
Like
Um,
commentary. Commentary is really good. I
I can't even remember commentary on that. There's no Taz, so that really,
true. And Taz makes everything much better.
yeah. Just like if Taz isn't on commentary, I immediately am just like, well, this is missing something. Or when William Regal would be on there with why can't I think of his name right now?
All
Hmm?
Excalibur.
Excalibur, yeah. I just kept thinking Don Callis, and that's not what I wanted to say at all. Um, but those two, I mean, also just Excalibur in general is great, but him with William Regal just like relentlessly hitting on him, I loved.
I well so it's Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness. And Kevin Kelly um did New Japan English commentary. So it's someone I was familiar with and I like. So I don't mind their commentary. Like I like that team, but they can't be like you're right. Like nothing's beating Ted. That's the A team for sure.
Yeah. Let me see if this is who I'm thinking it is. No. Mm, yeah, I did. Did he used to be? No, I guess maybe not. I was gonna say, did he used to be in WWE?
Yes.
Yes, he was. Okay, because I was like, I remember that name, and then I looked at him and I was like, that might be him older. It is him older. Good for him from having a very, it seems like, good career since leaving WWE.
Hey, it's been in New Japan since I think I've been watching it. Like since I've been like really watching it, not just occasionally catching like whatever Brian put on from YouTube. Um, I know he was in WWE, but I can't remember him in W. Like I don't remember anything. but I I feel like I enjoy listening to commentary. Doesn't bother me. Like sometimes with WWE, Corey Graves makes me want to put my fist through something. Everything.
We're having an Amazon package is being delivered, and Cheddar is losing his mind,
Uh,
like his absolute mind. Okay, he's calmed down. I think I heard them yeet the package onto.
ah,
Oh, Cheddar! My gosh, that dog. Um, huh?
collision, or is that what we were talking about when life still made sense?
Yes, yes. We were
Okay.
talking about collision. I really feel like we covered everything related to it. Currently, and I mean, it, it's still early in its little career. Things could change around on it to gain. And I mean, not everything in wrestling also has to appeal to me. That's the thing. Not everything has to appeal to me. In fact, it would be great if Collision never appealed to me because it's on a Saturday. I have wrestling Monday. I caught part of NXT on Tuesday because the fucking Judgment Day were on it, and I watched that. Not all of it. I just watched the clips. That's it. Wednesday, Dynamite. Thursday, Impact. Friday, WWE and AEW. And then the weekends are a shit show because sometimes there's pay-per-views, sometimes all the time now there is Collision. I hope I never enjoy Collision.
Yeah,
Ever.
there's legitimately not one day a week now that, I mean, you can argue Sundays, like that's just an occasional thing now
Yeah.
because WWE like is strictly doing Saturday pay-per-views, it seems like.
They've been bouncing back and forth, but yeah, they're definitely doing more Saturdays, which is probably better for people in like around the world who have work on Monday mornings.
Yeah, like I know not everyone has weekends off, but I feel like there are a decent amount of Monday through Friday. Like
Yeah.
I would say probably maybe like 60-40 between like Monday through Friday and non-Monday, like non-traditional work weeks.
Or
But I
even
feel
like,
like,
oh, sorry, I was even gonna say, even like kids, like they don't have to go to school, and we all know they're trying to, get those demographics.
I also feel like Sunday is a day that even if they're not a Monday through Friday business, Sunday's still a day a lot of places have off too. So it's good to have it on a Saturday night. So then you don't have to be up early for work or what have you on Sunday. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things open later,
yeah.
with the exception of like diners.
Or close earlier on
Yeah.
Sunday. So like your work day won't even be, it won't be as long if you still have to work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the only reason why I haven't really like gone like further into New Japan. Like I just I can't. If Collision never takes off for me and I can slot it in on Tuesdays. Because I wouldn't even I maybe catch segments once a month from NXT. So
Well, I mean, you know that I like New Japan a lot, but I don't watch religiously. Like yeah, we'll watch like the big matches of the G1 like after they air. I'm not gonna watch, each whole show. It's just too much. And every year, like, we will go back and watch the matches we want to watch, and like, okay, yeah, we want to watch that one, or we're gonna watch this one. I there's too much wrestling for no, I can't do it. Like we'll do that, and like we'll watch Dominion every year when that's on. Usually not as this year. I think we watched it as it was airing though, because we were off the next day. But a lot of the times, like we'll go back and catch it because we have New Japan World.
mhm.
Um, Wrestle Kingdom, we usually try to watch live, so we'll try to be off of work so we can do that. And when it falls on a weekend, that's even better because we're like, fuck it, we're just staying up. Trying to think what other show. Like there's a few throughout the year that we'll go back and watch, but I'm not watching it like weekly. I never did.
Yeah.
Not even when like
Wow.
Kenny and like the Bucks were there.
My voice just did something really weird. Sorry.
Any of them gonna be at the like any of the wrestlers gonna because the New York Comic Con's coming up soon again, isn't it?
MJF's going to be there. Sasha Banks will be there. I got tickets. Some of the other, I want to say I saw that Darby Allin's going to be there. Orange Cassidy is usually there because he was going before AEW was even like as like an attendee. Um, I mean, you can bet Xavier Woods goes every year. But he's like wandering around the floor. It's always been like I hope to one day have like, I'm terrible at finding Waldo, but I hope I find Xavier Woods on the floor. That's what I want. But yeah, it's my birthday weekend that it's coming this time. And I picked Friday because Tim Curry is going to be there. And I was just like, I love wrestling, but I'm not worried y'all are dying anytime soon. And this man was like my childhood. So
The worst witch. He was the Grand Wizard. It's the first thing that I ever remember seeing him in.
I loved the movie Annie as a kid with him playing Rooster. When I got a little bit older, there was also Clue, and then
Yes.
High School Rocky Horror. Like there was just
Home
so
Alone.
Home Alone, yeah. So
So
many,
goddamn funny in that.
yeah. Also there this is a it gave me nightmares. I still have nightmares about this. The movie Legend, which is my mom let me watch it because it's no unicorns, but the unicorns are being slaughtered. And like the devil takes this woman, Tom Cruise is in it. I think he plays some fairy. And he's like sent to save the girl. And he's like going, so Tim Curry plays the devil and like has these he doesn't he's a monster, like prosthetics, hooves, big horns, face of my nightmares still. And he's there to literally, he's going to cut off the unicorn horn, which again, literal nightmares. And that is also, I remember being a little bit older and realizing that was Tim Curry and just being like, why would you do that to me, Tim Curry? Wow.
Do you remember Fern Gully?
Yes. I love Fred
He's
Belly.
he's the bad guy in that too.
Yeah. I
Like the sludge, smog, yucky pollution. Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of the sludge thing, I always think of it like when they cut the power to the truck and it's like he's trying to like suck out the pollution, like to give himself make himself stronger. That's when I remember him sucking on pipes.
He I was a little kid and that he was scary to me in that movie, like very scary.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely enjoys playing like a bad dude.
But then he'll also be like Nigel Thornberry and in a Nickelodeon cartoon at the same time. Like
Oh yeah. I just I don't know. Even with him playing like iconically men in or you know
it,
yeah I love him. Like I see him and I want to hug him. Damn good actor.
yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm so jealous. Yeah, my whole identity as a small child under the age of 5 was the worst witch. Like, just
Oh
watch
yeah,
the shit out of that movie.
I
Like,
have it on DVD actually.
I found it on YouTube not too long ago and watched it again. And
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, I still love it. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bunch of wrestlers that'll be there. And I so always on the show floor, there's like legends that you can find. Like even long before AEW was like happening. You can usually find King or JR there or both. Um, and then a slew of others. I think I've seen Ric Flair there, Bradshaw, Sergeant Slaughter, and those are just some off of the top of my head. Oh, Mick Foley's been there because you know Mick Foley.
Foley would definitely be the one out of all those names that I would want to see. Like,
Well, it was at Comic-Con, the first one I ever went to, that he was giving away free autographs to promote his Santa documentary, and that was like a great day in my life.
Yeah, fully definitely. There's other like fandoms that I would also want to visit while I'm like definitely if there was any like people from Potter there or
The
like
twins are usually,
I'm
I
still in
think
love.
they're gonna be there this year.
Legitimately, that is the whole reason I have a husband right now. Because I thought he looked like a Weasley twin. Yeah, he loves that. Um,
You could have 3 husbands.
right? And then obviously, like I would have to find Dante Bosco,
Who?
Rufio from Hook,
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's often there.
and Zuko from Avatar. Yeah, he like the whole cast, like the kid that played Aang, like never went to these cons, and he has been around a lot lately.
Mhm.
I would have a chance to meet all of them at like any of these cons because they've been doing a lot of them lately. But so like wrestling, Avatar, and Potter, that would be what I'm looking for.
I know there's some from Avatar going this year. Look, there might still be some tickets for single days left. They're like 75 bucks a pop, but
I'll have to look.
yeah.
I'll have to look into it. I completely forgot it was coming up, and somebody mentioned it like last week, and I was like, oh shit, that is coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess if anyone wants to meet up with us, let us.
Great. It depends. It depends. Like it would depend because a lot of people are taking time off soon. So
Yeah.
I am a low man on the totem pole right now, which means I am the last one to get shit approved.
Yeah. Well, we've rambled about many things that are loosely tied to wrestling and that are nowhere near attached to wrestling. So I think we will wrap this up. Um,
Yeah.
and next week, should we do a women wrestling forgot? That would probably be good, right?
Sure.
Huh?
There's nothing major going on this week, right? I'm just trying to think. No,
No.
because blood and guts, so we should definitely not do it the week after because we're gonna want to.
Yeah.
Oh God, but then I'm conflicted because if like tonight there's like major announcements of like who's in it, like
Fair. So we will not be doing that. We will return to doing that shortly, though.
the only reason I'm thinking maybe not because like if Ibushi does come out, I'm sorry, there's no way I'm not gonna want to talk about that. And then depending on who is gonna be with I think it's gonna be Jericho BCC, but they might swerve us and have someone completely out of left field that we're like, holy shit about that too.
Yeah. But until next time, folks, as always, in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jonathan Cena, hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Yeah, but
Have a do.